Hello, I've decided to become a TBR girly, so we're gonna choose my March TBR today. I have a bunch of challenges slash prompts in this little vessel here that my lovely friend Trista made. This is meant to be a vase, and I really wish that I was enough of a flower girly to actually use it as a vase, but unfortunately that's not who I am, so I'm gonna use it for this so that I get to use it every single month. She made this with her own 2 hands. How incredible is that? Amazing. Okay, so I think we're gonna pick 10 books and kind of go from there. I typically read anywhere from 10 to 20 books. I have a little listy here of all the things that I have like coming in on holds at the library in the near future so that I can kind of keep track. And then I have like some of my things that I'm most excited to read behind me. And we're basically just gonna like fill up this little shelf with what my actual TBR is gonna be for the month. This is just gonna be an extra video that's coming out every month. It's more for me than for you. I've just been really jealous of the girlies who have really cool TBR games, and I wanna be one of them, so we're gonna do this. I'm not creative enough to make a whole board game out of this, but I can put paper in a jar. Let's pick our first book. This is very exciting. Oh, it's a little one. It's a really small one. Oh, okay, this is non-fiction, which is fantastic because I have 3 non-fiction things that I want to be reading this month. Things that I have kind of like up next in video plans are All We Can Save. This is an essay collection about climate change, and I'm really excited to read this, but it's terrifying and it looks like a textbook. Maybe not that one. I think the one I'm gonna do is Vanishing Fleece. It's a really short book. I managed to get it from my library on audio, and I think the hold is due to come in like 2 weeks. This would be actually perfect. And it's the story of a woman who gets this huge, I don't know what it's called, a bale of wool, like a really, like many hundreds of pounds of wool. And she takes that wool all the way from like when it's been sheared off the sheep all the way to finished saleable yarn. I just think it's gonna be really cool. I know this is like kind of a rogue pick for the first one. For a long time, I thought I was gonna be opening my own ranch, and I'm just really interested in the wool industry as a whole because we've like really gone away from wool and natural fibers, and there's a lot of synthetic fibers out there. I'm just interested to learn more about this whole industry and why wool is not valuable, because it used to be super, super valuable. So I'm just interested to see what's gonna go on with that book. Wow, very exciting. I'm super psyched about that one. Get one at the bottom. Here we go. This one is a book that has, some of these are typed and some of them are handwritten, so you can see my awful handwriting. An animal on the cover. Okay, let's see. I think I have quite a few options. Okay, these both have birds on the cover, or we could go Raven and the Reindeer. They all have birds. Shady Hollow also has animals on the cover. Someone is telling me that this is the move for this month. This is a cozy murder mystery. So I know there are a lot of you who came here from the cozy fantasy video. This is set in a town of talking animals, and then someone is killed, and our main character, this fox, is trying to figure out what happened. I got this for my birthday last month, and I've been really wanting to pick it up. Yay, that's exciting. Okay, book 2, there we go. Okay, book 3. Is this one. Oh, lovely. Extra book, and I've written ha to myself. Great, month 1, and I'm already off to a rough start. Okay, so we're gonna read 11 books this month, I guess. Wow, that's horrifying. Okay, this is fine. Everything's fine. Okay. A book published before 2000. This is not the one that I wanted. It's fine, it's okay, everything is fine. Aha, okay, Rhode was published in 1998, which is before 2000. So that's the one that I'm going to choose for this. This is something that I got from Scribd as an audiobook, and it is a really short, again, cozier fantasy. It's written by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I'm really, really excited about it. I've read some of The Hobbit, some of the Lord of the Rings series, but I don't think I've ever like finished a book by Tolkien, so this will be really cool. And it's really short, so that's perfect for a month in which we're reading 11 things, because of course I picked that prompt. Okay, fantastic. And one of you amazing subscribers recommended that I read that, so thank you for the recommendation. I will be reading it in March. Okay, that's what, 3 now? On to number 4. Oh, something fell out. The universe said I want to read this one. Okay. Oh, this will be fun. Webster picks. Webster is currently very asleep. Webster, you're good boy. Okay, let's move you so you can see Little Web. Here's what I'm having Webster pick between. He's gonna pick between The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher, because there's a dog in this, and A Pirate's Life for Tea by Rebecca Thorne, because there's a baby griffin in this. He's a baby dog, you know, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna put these on the floor. Okay, ready? Do you see them? I'm putting one on each thing, okay? You pick. Pick one. Okay. This is gonna be tricky because Webster's not supposed to eat food off the floor, and he knows that. Okay. Yes, okay. You can have it. Grab one. Okay. Yes, you can eat it, baby. Okay, Webster's having a hard time with this. Let's do this way instead. Oh, he didn't. Oh, now he wants it. Sully's gonna take it. Sully, no. I'm gonna put it in my hand and then we'll have him shake. We'll have him pick one. Okay, so right hand is the T. Kingfisher, The Twisted Ones. Left hand is the Rebecca Thorne. Pick one. T. Kingfisher? Okay. Okay, sorry, that was very chaotic. We're gonna read The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. I apologize for the chaos. There's now a dog laying where the tripod was before, so we're at a slightly different angle, but we will be reading The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. There's a dog in this one, so it makes sense that Webster wanted me to read this one. I'm hoping to read this weekend during my 24-hour readathon at night. It'll be spooky, it'll be fun, we'll read from my favorite author, it'll be a good time. T. Kingfisher also has a book coming out at the end of March. I think it's like March 31st or something, the last Tuesday in March, called A House with Good Bones, and I really do want to pick that one up, but I feel like I want to read this before that one comes out, like before I read that one, just so that I've read more of the horror that she's written before, because I think so far the only two horror that I've read by her are The Hollow Places and What Moves the Dead. The Hollow Places is my favorite, and Nettle and Bone is sometimes classed as horror, but it's also sometimes classed as cozy fantasy, so who really knows about that one? But this is what we will be reading. It's about a girl who goes to clean out her grandmother's house. Her grandmother was a bit of a hoarder, and she ends up finding like her grandfather's journal, and it looks like he maybe had some stuff going on, went a little crazy, but then she starts finding some of the terrifying things that he's describing, and she's doing all of this alongside her dog. This is actually going really well. I was worried that we would get stuff that there's some rogue prompts in here, so you never know. Okay, next one is a book by a favorite author. It would be really incredible if I could have picked The T. Kingfisher, right? Okay, we could go A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. I would call her a favorite author, even though I've only read 3 books by her, but they're like gonna be in my top 10 favorites of the year, I'm pretty sure. So that one would work. Grady Hendrix, I would say, is probably a favorite author. Or we could use the Rebecca Thorne. I've only read one of her books, but I follow her on TikTok. I love her as a human on the internet, so I would probably classify her as a favorite author. Or actually, I do have another T. Kingfisher. We could read The Raven and the Reindeer. I'm just gonna count this. I love this author so much, and I have been dying to read this, so we're definitely picking it up in March. This is the sequel to Can't Spell Treason Without T, which I binged in like a weekend and gave 5 stars. I love that book so much. It's a cozy fantasy. This is the sequel to that book. And in this one, our 2 main characters, they're a couple, they're women in love. They're also badass. Like one of them is a mage and the other one used to be a palace guard. They ran away together to open this bookshop that sells tea. And now apparently they're capturing a pirate. I honestly don't know very much about what goes on in this book. All I know is that it's got pirates, lesbians, and a baby griffin, and I said, yes, please sign me up. So that's what we're reading in March. Okay, Sally has moved, so we can move you back to a regular place. This is much better, isn't it? Oh, also, please let me know if you have any recommendations for the challenges that I should put in here, because I don't really know what I'm doing. Okay, next up we have the newest book on your TBR. Okay, the most recent book that I just bought, the newest book on my physical TBR, is The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. That was the book of the month pick that I chose for this month. So it's not even at my house yet, so it definitely is the newest book on my TBR. And I'm so excited about that. It's gonna be a pirate-filled month with A Pirate's Life for Tea and The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. I forgot I had cookies in the oven, so I just had to run and get them, but I'm back. They're okay, I don't think they're too burnt. The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, we're following a woman, I think she's in her 40s. She retired, she has a daughter, she's got some secrets in her past, she's trying to like stay under the radar. Someone shows up and asks her to go on one last adventure, and it's worth a lot of money, and it's like connected to something that happened in her past, and I'm not really sure much more than that, but I'm super excited to find out. I did get the audiobook from my library as well, so I've actually already started reading this, so I'm so happy I was able to put this on the TBR because I'm reading it no matter what. Oh, I'm so excited about that. It literally just came out on Tuesday too. This is very exciting. We have 5 more because I made an oopsie. Okay, this is a book with an animal companion. I think we've already put all the books in my TBR that have an animal companion on the TBR. Shady Hollow is all animals. The Twisted Ones has an animal companion. Pirate's Life for Tea is an animal companion. We can always hope that we get the double up prompt and then I can double up with one of the other books that I've already chosen. Or, okay, this is a bit of a stretch, but I'm gonna choose Migrations because there are animals in this. I don't know if they're animal companions, but there are at least animals in here because our main character is following these Arctic birds and their last migration. People think they're about to go extinct and she's studying them and trying to like stop that from happening. And there's at least birds in it. I'm sorry, this is a big stretch, but they're already on the TBR. So for now, this is what's going on. Next book. I got 2. There we go. Ooh, okay, this is a good one. It is a library book, which is fantastic. Okay, so let's go look at Libby and see what we have. I already have a couple library books on there, but I actually think I know exactly what I'm gonna pick for this. Like I said earlier, I have a 24-hour readathon coming up and I have gotten some graphic novels that I wanna read. So Paper Girls is the one that I've already downloaded. So I'm gonna pick that one for this. I'm definitely gonna be reading Paper Girls. I love reading graphic novels from the library on my phone. It's like one of my favorite things to do when I'm doing a readathon. So that's what I'm gonna pick for a library book. Paper Girls is this sci-fi Stranger Things type situation. We have a bunch of girls who they do like a paper route together and then some stuff goes down, maybe with aliens, question mark? I don't really know. I heard it was a good time and I got it from my library. I'll just be reading book 1. I don't know if there's a difference between books or volumes, if books are multiple volumes or if volumes are multiple books, but I'm reading book 1. That's what I have from the library. We've done 8, so we have just a couple left to pick. This is one of my most anticipated books of the year. I know exactly what I'm gonna pick. I could choose The Tea Kingfisher, but I think it literally comes out the last day of March, and maybe I'm not gonna binge that in one day. Maybe I will, but we're not gonna pressure myself to do that. I wanna enjoy the book. So I'm gonna choose episode 13. I just grabbed this a couple of weeks ago because it is one of my most anticipated books of 2023. In this book, we are following this ghost hunting show as they film their 13th episode in this incredibly haunted house. I read the first couple of chapters in the bookstore before I bought it just to make sure that the writing style was going to be for me since I haven't read from this author before. We're already following a kid who has an imaginary friend and some spooky stuff is going down and I'm really hype about it. It's also got some like mixed media stuff in here, like there are text messages. It's like a found footage style situation, so I really cannot wait. I think I might also try to pick this up this weekend when we do the 24-hour readathon. I want to read some spooky stuff at night and I feel like this one will go fast even though it feels like a big book because of the mixed media. I think we have only 2 left to go. This one is very long, so it's not gonna focus. A book recommended by a friend, booktuber, or subscriber. So I already have Referendum on here, which is recommended by a subscriber, but I think we can probably find something else on here. Okay, I'm gonna pick another library book for this one. I'm gonna go with, please focus. I'm gonna go with Confessions. This was a pick for the Literally Dead book club that Kayla from Books and Lala runs, and it's actually been showing up in a ton of people's best books of the year. So it's a recommendation from Kayla, it's a recommendation from a lot of different people. So I'm gonna choose Confessions for this one, even though I don't have like a specific comment or thing to show you about that one, because all the other things that I was thinking about for that prompt are already on the TBR. So we're definitely reading stuff recommended by other people this month. Do I know anything about this book? Not really. Apparently it's about this woman who's a teacher, and on like her last day or the last week, she like sits everyone down and she's talking to them about this crime that occurred, and apparently everyone is like involved in it. I don't know. It's a thriller. The premise didn't sound super interesting to me, but literally everybody loves this book, so I'm definitely picking it up because of a recommendation, which is why I think it works really well for this prompt. We're picking 11 this month because I picked the extra book prompt. Great job, me. Okay, here we go. The last one. is a book with cozy vibes. Okay, incredible. Let's see what I have left in the cozy vibes section. I think this might be cozy, but it's also Tea Kingfisher, so I never really know. Closed in Common Orbit is cozy. This is cozy. This is supposed to be cozy fantasy, but it doesn't really feel very cozy to me. And I think I am DNFing this. I'm probably gonna tell you this in my wrap up because I was supposed to finish this in February, but I think I'm DNFing this one, unfortunately. So, okay, let's pick one of these two. You know, we already have some sci-fi on here with the graphic novel Paper Girls. So I think we're gonna go with 10,000 Stitches. This is also in the like Regency Fairy Tales series. This is book 2. It's the sequel to Half a Soul, which I loved. It's one of my favorite cozy fantasy romances that I have read so far. And in this one, we are following this woman who gets this fairy godfather who has no idea what he's doing, and it seems like he's actually like messing up when he's trying to help her, which sounds absolutely hilarious. It's also super short, which is a great book to have for when I'm, you know, reading more than the 10 books that I thought I was going to. Okay, we did it. We're done. That's the TBR. That's so exciting. So we have this stack physically, and then we're also reading Vanishing Fleece, Roverandom, The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, Paper Girls, and Confessions, and those I'm all getting from my library. I'm really happy that I did this. I feel much better about this. Like, this doesn't feel stressful picking between these. Picking between all of this felt very stressful. Picking between these does not feel stressful. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you being here. Next week, we're going to be doing a 24-hour readathon, which I'm very excited for. My sleep schedule is not going to thank me. So I'll see you at 11 a.m. Eastern next Sunday. Bye.